So in this update, I wanted to compare the defective workmanship cover in a public liability policy with the property being worked on cover. Some policies may have both and others may just have one without the other. And then when it comes to defective workmanship cover, there are two different ways that insurers cover that as well. So it's an extremely complicated area of insurance and something that it's really important to consider when you're looking at what cover is appropriate for your trade or occupation. So firstly, with defective workmanship, that's, as it sounds, intended to cover your liability for faulty work. In some cases, the insurer will require physical damage to have occurred before the policy will be triggered, before it will cover the defective workmanship, and other insurers won't require any physical damage to trigger cover under a defective workmanship extension. The important thing to note is that it only covers defects that arise after the contract has been completed and the work has been handed over to your customer. So those defects can't be known during the contract. You can't make a claim under your liability insurance for defective workmanship during the actual contract prior to you having completed it and handed over to the customer. In terms of property being worked on, it's similar but different. So in that case, it provides cover for damage to the property that you are physically working on. So that could be during the contract, or it could also be damage that arises after the contract has been completed. So provided that you are liable, so if the damage occurs during the contract, the property you're working on needs to be someone else's property. It needs to be the third party's property that you've damaged. That's the essential difference. As I said, some insurers will combine the two within their policy, but they will have different ways that they cover defective workmanship. And essentially, it's really important that you understand those distinctions because claims may be covered by some and not others. And depending on your occupation and the type of work you do, it may be appropriate to have one kind and not the other. So that's it in a nutshell.